So here at the BTC over the last few weeks, what the team's been up to is mainly working on the rear of the car. So from Newquay, we ran without any rear bodywork, so none of these panels were on the car for Newquay, so we've been doing all the fitting of those. It's really important as we start to get ready for the running in the desert, is that this part of the car is protected from any in-train flow. And actually, if you remember back to the aerodynamics we did on the car, this whole area here, this is what's helping to keep the car on the ground. So the bodywork at the rear of the car, this is the part of the car that actually keeps it on the ground. Or actually, more importantly, is the bit that stops it from generating the lift. So if you remember from config 9s, where would that be, a few years ago, we had a real problem when we swapped the jet and the rocket over, and we found we had a car that generated 11 tons of lift. That was all due to the shape of the back of the car. And what we had there was we had a triangular shape. It was kind of like a V, and the high pressure area, particularly around this area of the rear of the car, was generating lift. So if you look at the back of the car now, it's very slightly triangular the other way. And the idea is that those shock waves generate a small amount of downforce, which we can control. And that is why this is really, really key to how the car works. And so it's very important to get this right for South Africa, and this will be our first chance to check out the aerodynamics. So the other thing we've been doing is this whole part of the car, when we're actually running, the aerodynamic drag on the car, almost a third of the drag of the car is coming off each of the wheels. Each of the rear wheels at 1,000 miles an hour, generating something like 6 tons of drag. We've got the air brakes just ahead of it. There's a huge amount of turbulent airflow. So keeping it all really tidy going through this area so we don't have any interwind steps, all those joints are really well sealed. So we've been working, putting the trowel fitting the deltas and now the side bodywork panels to get all that ready. We're also looking, so we've put the rear runway hubs back on. That allows us to move the car around when we're in the workshop, so we can move things a lot easier if we need to move the car outside at all. There are fairings that go over the rear suspension, again, to get the aerodynamics better. Another thing we've been doing on this car is that while we've had the opportunity of having the top off, we've put back in all things like the air brake mechanism. So at Newquay, we reduced the weight of the car, so we were only running just over 5 tons. So we didn't have any of the air brakes. We also had a reduced fit of systems on the car. So now the work is all being done to bring that up to a desert spec with a view to going to high speed, so 500-600 miles an hour, and then all the way up to a record without having to change an awful lot of the inside of the car.